Let me ask you a question. Do you struggle with getting your lead vocals to sit just right in the mix? Maybe they sound great on your studio monitors, but you export your song, take it out to the car to listen, and they either sound way too loud or way too quiet. If that sounds familiar, then this video is for you. A few years back, I encountered a huge issue when it came to mixing. I could no longer find the perfect vocal balance, and it was all because of a new desk. For many years, I had a pretty standard studio desk that looked like this. My monitors were at the perfect ear level, and I knew exactly how things sounded in my mix room. After upgrading to a much larger desk, like this one right here, it brought on a significant problem for mixing. My monitors were now above my ears. So I purchased some of those foam isolation pads that angle the monitors down to create the perfect listening position. And while that did allow me to get the monitors firing directly at my ears, little did I know that this change in speaker placement was going to make everything in my room sound completely different. The first mixes I did with this new setup were all getting mix revisions coming back saying that the vocals were way too loud. But how could that be when I'm mixing them to a level that's been ingrained in my brain for years? So I pulled up some of my go-to references, and all the lead vocals sounded significantly quieter than what I was used to. I was fighting tooth and nail to try to find the perfect vocal balance, and it just wasn't happening. I was going to have to relearn my mix room. I put a stereo to mono plugin on the main output, and instantly I could hear exactly where the lead vocals needed to sit in the mix. Let's take a listen to how it sounds in the DAW. So Cubase actually has a stock plugin called Mono to Stereo that works great for this, because it has a mono button built right into the plugin. So I'm going to play a little bit here with the plugin bypassed and then with the plug engaged while adjusting the vocal fader. That way you can really hear how much easier it is to hear the vocal balance in mono versus stereo. So here we are doing playback with the plugin bypass, so this is full stereo. And here we are in mono with the plugin engaged. So between the two versions, that couple decibel increase or decrease was much more prominent in the mono version versus the stereo version. So the reason mixing in mono is going to allow you to quickly pinpoint the precise vocal level is because you're not being distracted by everything that's spread out through the stereo field. You're hearing everything right up the center as if it were coming out of one single speaker, and it makes it easier to tell if something's too loud or too quiet in the mix. Also, our ears are often listening to mono sources. Imagine you're walking through a grocery store or you're out to eat at a restaurant, and the music you hear is usually played out of a mono speaker or multiple speakers that are playing from the same mono source. Or if you have music playing in your home and you walk out of the room into a different room, you're hearing that sound more as like a single sound source rather than a left and right. In either of these scenarios, you'd be able to tell quickly if something didn't sound right and if something was too loud or too quiet in the mix. So even if you're extremely comfortable mixing in stereo, jumping to a mono mix from time to time just gives you a different perspective of how your mix sounds and kind of acts as a refresher to your ears. It's easy to get burned out or get ear fatigue, so sometimes even just hearing our song through a different sound source makes it easier to get ourselves back on track. Although I've retrained my ears to really know how my speakers sound in this room, I still to this day check every single mix in mono and often still mix my lead vocal in mono. It makes it easier and faster to get accurate results, and also it allows you to see if there's any mono compatibility issues that need to be fixed in your mix. Whichever recording software you use, it most likely has a plugin that can do this, or it has an option on your main stereo output that can convert the mix to mono. And if it doesn't, there are plenty of free plugins you can download that can do this. I would check out BX Solo by Brainworks, and you can get this plugin for free on the Plugin Alliance website. And I'll drop a link to that in the description below. Now, as you're working on improving your recording and mixing skills, if you want a guide that walks you through every step of the process from songwriting and recording up through mixing and mastering, you can download the Roadmap to a Radio-Ready Song. This guide covers the 5 steps required to take your song from sounding like a demo to sounding pro, and you can download it absolutely free as my gift to you by going to FromZeroToStudio.com/roadmap, and you can start improving how you're capturing and creating your music. That's all I've got for you today. Thank you so much for watching and subscribing. I'll see you on another video soon.